Boom. Let's start it, dog.
Okay, well,
Look at this handsome bastard.
here we are again.
He's got that pregnancy glow. Look at him. He's just gorgeous, dude.
Jesus.
I've never seen you this well balanced in my life.
What do you mean?
Like, I feel like enough time has gone by where you've had a full shaved head where it's like, that is you now.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It is you. And there's nothing better. Like, people have different looks. Everybody wants to say, okay, this look is the best look or whatever. I think everybody has a different look for themselves. And once they find that one mint look, it's like they've been that look forever. Like the other day, my mom was saying, "Is like I don't even remember what you look like without a beard."
Yeah.
And I'm like,
Yeah.
perfect, because I was a fucking ugly kid.
That was me. I remember. I shaved it. I went full shave. You saw this. We already talked about it, but I completely shaved everything. 2 months ago, maybe roughly, because I remember I was talking to Sabrina about it, and she's like, "When's the last time you even saw it?" I'm like, "I don't even remember. It would have been like fucking 2016, 17.
Yeah.
When I had like nothing.
Yeah.
And then I did it, and I'm like, "Oh, okay. Well, there's the jaw again, I guess." But fuck, yeah.
Hey, how long you want to stay at Parker for? Life?
No, I don't think life, but I definitely want to
Decade?
give it a good go. I wouldn't measure it in years because you never know. Like, it's so funny. I was talking. We got this trade show this week, so there's some guys over from Calgary and from Ontario.
When is that again?
Wednesday, Thursday, and I was talking to one of my coworkers today about it because he's here and we're doing some calls, and he's like, "Listen, man, when I started, I told myself it was going to be a 5-year thing. Here I am, 26 years later." So.
Yeah. But is he happy about it, or is he desperate
he
for
is.
it?
He is.
You know, because there's always two ways to that. You're always like, either
he's
got too many things, and then you're like, you need the money.
He's one of those. He's one of those like really chill Calgary guys. Like nothing really phases this guy much from what I've seen. We haven't been in too many stressful situations together, so I'm not sure. But from what I can tell, this guy seems like shit will happen, but he's like he rolls with it. He's not. He's not. You know, those guys that you meet, especially sales guys, they're like very jumpy.
Yeah.
They're high energy, and they're just like all over the place. This guy's not like that at all. And so, from what I can tell, you know, I think he's very happy with the decision that he made to stick with Parker for this long. So
damn, that's good.
I don't know. Like I said, if I want that, I think definitely I want to. There's a few things that I want to get done, and then kind of go from there.
What's the biggest thing you want to get done?
I really want to try and switch to product management at some point. That'd be pretty cool. But I need to get some years under sales and understand the product that I'd want to manage better, the technology, and then kind of go from there. And then, you know, depending on who retires, to try and take one of those spots. Or even, you know, overseas would be nice too.
Overseas where, though?
Europe, probably.
Shanghai.
Because right now, U.S. is just a fucking mess. That was my idea of the U.S. before, like, the orange guy got in power.
Yeah.
Now it's just fucking, like, what the fuck, man? You just don't know what tomorrow's going to be like with this.
Yeah, because Aftab went to China, right?
Yeah, he's in and out. He's helping his dad's business, and they have some ventures out there. Like, they got suppliers that they work with,
right?
And so they do visits, try to get product launched.
Yeah, I told him the other day. I was like, dude, you should just get a chick over there. Fuck it, just get a part timer, come in on the weekends.
There's a billion girls there. Just
clean you up, dude. Pick a girl a week. Do something. He's just there holding his dick, being like, "Oh, Christ is king." I'm like, bro, please, you're a muzzy. What are we doing? Give me the top 2 things, like when you meet somebody, right?
Yeah.
What's your 2 top things you look at, and then you either like them or you dislike them? By the way, that shipped.
Nice.
I had no idea.
Is that the old one?
That's the old one.
Oh, that makes sense. 2 main things, I guess, to keep it really broad in general. Their demeanor and their attention span. So, attention span, because there's people who are very shallow, who you might not be able to pick up if they're shallow or not, but if their attention span is very short, then you know that nothing can keep them entertained for that long. Whether it's you, whether it's a hobby, whether it's their job, whether it's, you know, going out with friends, whatever it is that they do, like nothing can keep them entertained for too long. Like they're in a constant state of dissatisfaction. Yeah, that's a big red flag. Yeah. So if someone has like a decent attention span, like, you know, can hold a conversation, doesn't fucking like drift away when you're talking to them, and actually that's a really good sign. And then demeanor is just it's a general thing because it's made up of a lot of things, but generally what I'm looking for is, And this goes whether it's like a romantic relationship or whether it's like friendship, work, or whatever. But how does a person come across? Like, do they make you feel calm, or are they making you feel agitated? Like, is that person agitating to be around for whatever reason?
Yeah.
Or is that like a calming presence where you're like, all right, I feel like I can like relax a little bit. I'm not too like on edge. Because the moment I feel on edge from the person that I'm across the table, whether it's like a client, customer, girlfriend, wife, whatever.
Yeah.
Family member, I'm like, okay, like what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because it doesn't make you want to be there. You're like, well, what the fuck? It's either I'm like you go take your scream out, I'm gonna punch you out, or I gotta leave, and neither of which is like conducive to like a good relationship.
Yeah. The reason I ask is because there was this 1,500 person survey. 750 female, 750 male.
Okay.
Males generally said pretty much what you're saying.
Yeah.
And this was University of Florida. Don't quote me on this.
Sure.
And then the females said that they like a guy who's drastic. And what that means is some of them went into more detail of explaining what that means. They were talking more about what it means to have excitement.
Interesting.
Which, like, guys, based on what you're saying and based on me personally, like, I like somebody who is consistent.
Yeah.
That kind of goes hand in hand with the fact that somebody's not so, ADHD all the time. That you can have deep conversations with them, so then you can have a deep relationship with this person, right? It's hard to be friends with guys who just like drink all the time and just talk shit about random shit. How do you bond? You can't. But it's just interesting that that's the thing. And then obviously that goes back to one of our older conversations we talked about how when girls get off birth control, they're totally different, right? Have you ever had that?
I've definitely seen, like, I've seen the literature, or at least like the videos, like people talk about once they get off, like they might completely, if they were attracted to you but on it, they might be completely disgusted by you off of it. Yeah. And so that's like definitely.
But have you ever actually had somebody on it and off of it? So
yeah, without getting like too detailed, yes, but I haven't noticed that phenomenon.
Right. No. I used to date a girl. You might have known her. Okay. She got off like midway through the relationship.
Yeah.
And then the relationship crumbled.
Oh, Jesus.
And that was like hilarious because it's like, for me, it was easy because one, I already had my suspicions.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, this is weird.
Yeah.
There was something off.
Right.
And then as that happened, I was like, well, that's fucking perfect. I needed a sign from Jesus. That's what I really needed. Yeah. And that's what it comes down to. Right now, if you had to, gun to your head, you want to be pro-Palestine or pro-Israel here?
Pro-Palestine, probably.
But it's over. I mean, aren't they getting deported?
The problem is that it's a fucking...
It's a monopoly.
It's a monopoly. It's just... I don't know. It kind of makes... For any sane person that looks at this situation, it makes you shake your head because you're like, this is ridiculous because we're too far gone for like protests to make a difference. Like you're like, oh, let's see what... Bro, Gaza is gone.
Gone, bro.
It doesn't exist.
They're looking at like rebuilding.
Look at photos. Like what the fuck?
It's
like
leveled.
It's the equivalent of you're playing in a sandbox.
Yeah.
And your friends are all building fucking little like things with like the castles, the little fucking forms and what. And then some fucking kid comes with a soccer ball and just like accidentally or unintentionally just fucking blows it up. That's what you're looking at. It's just fucking sand.
Yeah.
Like all fucked up. Like there's no shape to anything. Like all major buildings are fucking downed. I honestly don't even know where the fuck people are living. It doesn't make sense to me. Like you still hear about people living there, but I'm like, fucking where are they living?
Where? Yeah.
So
outskirts.
I don't know. And the problem is like, well, okay, what's the end goal here? They've talked about like, oh, the hostages. Like, okay, great, but then what? Like, they'll give all the hostages back, and then what? Are you just gonna rebuild Gaza and be in charge of them now? Like, what the fuck? How does this look? What does this look like?
The problem is that a lot of these enemies that we call to the United States are just controlled oppositions.
Yes.
Like a lot of these guys, if you look down like Assad, you look down fucking Saddam, you look down Gaddafi, all these guys were placed there. Khomeini, these guys were placed by America and the UAE. And basically they just went rogue on these guys because eventually everybody power trips and gets a power trip, and you want to stop that connection. And then now you're looking at like ISIS was control opposition. Like this is like there's files coming out of this. It's like all of this is fake. Like all these threats that we have about Mossad and ISIS and Taliban and all these guys. These guys were CIA operatives. Majority of them can speak like several languages. So what's it called? Who's that guy that they said they killed? Big guy. My brain's
recently?
No, this is like 5 years ago or some shit. He's like a Arab terrorist.
Oh, like Zarqawi or something?
No. He's way more famous than that.
Osama?
Osama bin Laden.
How the fuck you're like 5 years? Well, this is like literally 13 years ago.
Yeah, okay. But Osama bin Laden was like literally raised in America, went to American universities, high schools. He's fluent like in like 8 languages, including like Hindu, Punjabi and stuff. And like he knows Russian. Like that's not normal. You know, you see a lot of these guys and you're like, wow, okay, well, this
bro,
is
his son is just chilling in New York.
Well, why wouldn't he be? Like, what? Okay, your dad is a criminal, let's say.
Yeah.
They're going to come grab you?
No, I know, but like at that level of notoriety, would I really want to stick it out here in the country that's trying to kill my father? You know what I mean? It's like,
but it's probably even safer for him legally as far as his rights to be.
Wouldn't you want to go to like Dubai or something?
Why?
Like,
you don't have the same rights over there as a crime syndicate son of a fucking terrorist.
Yeah, fuck, man.
Bro, they're gonna be in your ass. You don't know, like Dubai, like, dude, it's safe there because they're harsh. It's not safe there because you have rights. Yeah. The more places you have rights, the less safe it is. You look at Europe with all their fucking liberalism. You look at the States, and anywhere that there's like no. Where the fuck did I read this? Was it who the fuck was it? It was some guy off the Rogan Experience, and he was going against Piers Morgan. Okay. And he was basically saying gun-free zones are more dangerous than places that you can have concealed carry. And
I think I know
looked into this
that you're talking about.
And
I think I've seen it.
I've seen tons of literature supporting this, and I've seen tons of literature going against this. And I honestly sum it up to this. If you're pro-liberal, you're going to have a research article come out that says this is incorrect. And if you're pro-gun, you're going to have a research article that says this is correct. And then you know what's even more interesting? Like state by state, the research that's coming out of like California and New York are pro like not having guns, gun-free zones. And then places coming out of like Florida and Texas are coming out with these statistics that are saying like, okay, having concealed carry makes it more fair across the board so people can protect themselves. What are your thoughts?
When I listen to this, like these arguments from these people, like the whole like debate, I'm like, do we really need to be putting that much thought into it? Like, it's not that hard. America's the biggest country by far.
Most amount
that
of guns.
Has these gun laws where it's so loose. Like, you can get a gun. And they are by far the country with the most amount of gun violence per capita ever in the history of the human.
There's no other place.
Like, do we really need to be doing this much research? Like, it's not that fucking hard. Yeah. Like, you're going to incite violence by the merit.
If you have the capability.
Not only that, but as you escalate the technology, you're gonna have more. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's
you're
like
gonna have more mass murder.
If we allowed people to just be carrying around like
AR-15s,
pipe bombs.
Yeah. Fuck. Dude, that sparks nostalgia in me.
You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
That's like half my childhood.
If you were allowed to just fucking make like pressure cooker bombs, you know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
Wouldn't it be great?
Because you already have people that just get unhinged, and like so the level of violence that they're capable of creating, being unhinged with a knife is limited. Yeah, you go on a knife spree. Okay, fine. That same dude. Yeah. Give him enough time to like do some weird fucked up
real
shit.
Damage.
Then you know what I mean? Like like what the fuck? Like why is this so difficult for people to understand?
I think there should be a psychology assessment or a therapeutic assessment of people, followed by a tremendous amount of background checks, and I think that is probably the right way to do
You know what's
it.
funny is that in red states they say that's too liberal. They're like,
Yeah.
no, you can't be having people intervening on my right to own. And blah, blah, blah.
Isn't it a Second Amendment?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm like, yo,
so-
like, what the fuck? Like, it's just, I think the biggest problem with the states and gun control is that it's not that Republicans or, without like labeling them, it's not that people that are pro-gun are covering their ears, ignoring
Yeah.
the evidence.
Yeah.
I honestly do think there's enough smart people there where they're like, okay, we know this is a problem, but they don't want to admit it. They're in denial. Okay, fine. I think what the real problem is that they don't want to deal with the fact of how entrenched in their society this is, and they're like, the amount of work we would have to do to undo this is just ridiculous. And it also goes against a lot of their agenda that they want to push with regards to like other parts of their life,
Yeah.
other lifestyle things like hunting and just like some of the things that they can sell to people are going to be marketed towards people that are pro-gun. And if you take that away, then you remove that mark, and there's just a lot of money involved too at the end of the day. So I think the biggest issue is that there's so much money involved in keeping America the way that it is.
Yeah.
You're not really going to see a big change the other direction unless there's more money to be spent. That, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So,
I think that's true, but I also think going too liberal left would make us this whole truck rally thing. Like, that was ridiculous to me. It's like if you wanted to send money to kids in Africa and you can't because then they seize your bank accounts and then
Yeah,
you're in jail because you have certain views. I gotta say, this camera's looking pretty mint today. Do we even want to sell it at this point?
the problem is that it's too unreliable. Some days it's great, some days it's not.
Yeah.
And it's because of that internal plug, right? So it's just not worth it to keep because you just don't know. A day that you really need it to be good, it'll like be all fucked up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Pixely,
it's like
so.
a bad girlfriend.
Jesus, dude.
Yeah, I think there's a sweet spot. I don't think we're gonna find it in our lifetime. What I'm really looking forward to is about a year or so after this trade war stuff, when America actually wants to be
Normal.
and hopefully by then we have some conservative leader that doesn't screw us like all the other conservative leaders screwed us. And like places like Point Roberts, have you heard about
Point
this?
Roberts is done.
Yo, they're done. 'Cause
Point
all of
Roberts is going to cease to fucking exist. Good riddance.
It's going to be like, do you remember, you don't know this, but basically Port Moody wasn't here. It was only like the police station here.
How long ago?
This is like 80 years ago, 70 years
Okay.
ago. Real Port Moody
Yeah.
was when you go down Ioko,
Yeah.
there's the
Towards
school.
Anmore, you mean?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
a school that you hit. There's an old, no longer used school.
Oh, at the very, very end before
Yeah.
you get to the generator or like
Yeah,
the
yeah,
hydro?
yeah. On First and
Yeah.
and Ioko, and that was where people lived.
No way.
Bro, it was like a school with a community and everything, and like a little bridge, and they had like community things, and like
Get
there's
the
still
fuck
people
outta
there.
here.
I walked Senora over there, and like people
Get the hell out of here.
people that live in that area
Yeah.
that are like in their 60s, they recall the school that they went to that was here, and it was like those stores there.
I rode my motorcycle through there, so I remember this. What you're describing, I remember it vividly.
Yeah.
Because I would take my motorcycle and I'd go.
I'll
up
take you one
Ioko,
time.
and I'd go through
get ice cream.
up to Belcarra. Yeah,
Yeah, we'll go.
yeah, so that's crazy.
Yeah, even Balcarra, man. Like Balcarra used to be popping back in the day.
Yeah,
Like even when I first came to Canada, like 15 years ago, Balcarra was popping.
yeah.
COVID kind of killed all that, but also COVID kind of made people like really scared of just people. I still see Asians with masks on. I'm like, what is that covering?
What do you
Your
mean?
breath?
I still see Asians wore masks before COVID.
I know that,
Bro,
but they're the last ones to give it
I
up.
was in
Everybody gave it
I was
up.
in Japan.
Yeah,
I was in Japan, and people would wear masks. Not like everyone, but just like if you're sick, if you got a cold, you wear a mask. That's it.
yeah,
It's not that hard. Asians have just always had that mentality for a long time.
yeah.
Ever since SARS, man.
But this is the thing: if it's not contagious, it's a killer virus, and if it's contagious, it's not that killer.
That's not how SARS worked.
No. That's how every disease works.
That's not how it works. So you're oversimplifying disease.
If it's very
pathology.
No, but it's there's a ratio for
No,
this.
because there's another thing. There's a few things that you're talking about. There's like there's the lethality, so how quickly it can kill you.
Yeah.
It's how infectious it is. That's another thing.
Yeah.
And then it's transmissibility. So there's three things.
Transmission.
Lethality is what you're talking about, because the faster it can kill you,
the less
it can transmit. Because if it's only in your body for like
so what was number two?
Day, how infectious it is.
Infectious and transmissibility is the same.
No, it's not.
How is it different?
Because transmissibility is like how many ways can you transmit the virus?
Okay.
Coughing, shitting, blood, spitting.
Okay.
Just whatever. How many
bodily
modes?
fluids.
But it's like how many modes? Contact. That's another method of transmission.
Okay.
So how many ways can it be transmitted?
But okay.
No, I know, but how many methods can disease be transmitted?
Yeah.
And then how infectious is it? Which is to say, if you can transmit it through touching, how infectious it is would be, do I have to touch you once? Do I have to touch you twice? Do I have to hold you for a little bit? Do I have to be sweaty when I hold you? Like that sort of stuff. So those are the three main. Depending on where that is, the sliding scale will determine how deadly and widespread a disease can be.
But generally, when a disease is really deadly, it's not very widespread.
Generally, it is.
Yeah.
Generally. But sometimes you can get hybrids, and that's the scary part.
And those are made in labs, guys.
Yeah.
Those are made in labs.
If you ever want to like dick around on your phone for like, if you're just waiting for some, I don't know, you just have like some time to spare. There's a game called Plague Inc.
Jeez.
And it describes this. So the whole point of the game, it's on your phone. Like I play this because it was funny. You start off in a country. Yeah. And you try and build your disease to make it kill all mankind.
Oh, bro, this sounds like America in Wuhan.
Literally.
Holy shit.
But it's not easy, man. It's actually not easy because then the whole thing, it's like real life. It's like, eventually once the disease gets a lot of notoriety and the whole world is like, people are going to try and beat the disease, research, whatever. So.
All right. Any last words?
Put on a mask.
Don't get sick. We're out.